Hello beautiful people, welcome to Weaves of Waves. I've been doing 4 hours of gardening today, so I'm a little bit stiff, and yes, last week was really busy with the gardening, so yeah, a lot of clearing, a lot of killing of weeds. Everything is growing massively, and it's in this amazing time of year, this life force that is surging through the entire planet. It's like, wow. And of course it brings its opposite, its equal and opposite. And yeah, I'm very much aware of the life and death cycle at the moment. And yeah, I've been doing some research, and I want to start a channel on, well, basically I think I'm going to do it a podcast. I got 108 views for my non-PC on Rumble. So I did something on Rumble last week, and you can check me out, Weaves of Waves on Rumble. 108 views. I'm barely getting 5 or 6 views on YouTube. So yeah, you're going to have to forgive me, YouTube, but I got viewers. People want to watch. People are watching me on the other platforms, and it's like, okay, and I have something to say, and I'm feeling restricted. I can't do it here. So, okay, well, we'll do it in lots of places. So you come and find me on my website, weavesofwaves.com. And yeah, I have things to say about the cycles of life right now. I'm researching suicide. I'm researching why people commit suicide and the stats and the facts. And yeah, I have some things to say. I'm a pagan. I believe in rebirth. I believe in life after death, reincarnation. I believe to everything there is a season. This is a season to live and a season to die. So I don't necessarily feel that suicide is a sin for a start. It's not a bad thing, rational suicide. And so I've got lots of things to say about that. And I might put bits and pieces on YouTube, but the death cycle is just as important as the life one. We have to live fully, and we have to live within our ethics and our morals, and yeah, there is reasons to live right now, and reasons to fight. And I want to share those reasons, and I want people to fight what I call a Sirens call. It's like a wave of fear that's coming from mainstream media. Everybody's got to be frightened of dying. And I don't think that's necessarily a true fact. You know, our ancestors weren't frightened of dying. They lived a lot shorter lives, a lot worse lives. And they went screaming and kicking. But they knew that their time was come, and they went face on. Come and have a go. Come on, death. Bring it on. You know, now is a good time to die. Come on. And yeah, we have to remember that. It's quite hard to see so many people in fear of death, because, you know, when my time comes, I will face it full on, and it's going to be glorious. And I don't think that our ancestors would be very pleased of the fact that we are cowering in our beds from death because somebody on the television tells us that we have a good chance of dying. I don't think that's quite our ancestors' idea of how we, you know, why they lived and died, so our children would be free. So, you know, their children would be us, is free, and we are free, and yet we've given it all away for the fear of death. And I think the fear of death is stupid. It really is stupid, because above all, we see the cycle of life around us. I'm a gardener. I see the cycle of life. I see life and death all around me, all the time. I stand on a snail. I'm really sorry. I try and save a few snails. I don't try and kill things, but yeah, I do kill things, and it's part of life, and they move on to the next cycle. And I believe that. I see that, because next year there will be more snails. There will be people being born again, over and over again. And yeah, I remember past lives. I remember not being in this body. This body is a new thing. I've had it for 50 years. It's still a new thing. I still find things to do with this body. That's fun. But is it all me? Absolutely not. I'm far bigger than this. This is just a game. And I'm firmly of that belief. And it's beyond a belief, because a belief is a be and a lie. You look at the words. It's a knowing. I know that I've lived many times before, and I am not going to die when I leave this body. I know this. I know this with an absolute fact to me, that I am not going to, this is the end of my existence when this body dies. How could that's like sin. I never understood that bit either. Born into sin and all that. I'm sorry, this is where my belief system trumps the whole of whatever everyone else is believing. If you believe that this is the end after you die, when your body ceases to be, that is the end of who you are. I'm sorry for you. I really am. I don't believe that. I cannot see how the being that I am is going to be wiped out of existence just because my heart stops beating, or the body that I'm in, the heart stops beating. This is like a spacesuit. It doesn't seem real half the time. It seems like a comedy an awful lot. This is a sad tragedy comedy. It's a drama. But it seriously isn't reality. Not for me. But I have to accept that other people have different realities. So, all right, maybe it's true for you. Maybe it's true that you should fear death. Right? You should put it off for as long as you can, seek immortality, maybe the cryogenic chambers where your head gets frozen so you can be reincarnated again, and when they can have the science to bring you back to life. And immortality is the thing to seek. But this is an oxygen-rich atmosphere. Oxygen degrades everything. We all rust, various degrees of rust from oxygen. So I'm not sure how all that works out personally, but this is why I know I have lived before. I remember. I've always remembered. I've always had that. So when I come across fear of death in such huge waves, it's illogical to me. But I have to say, okay, it's part of the place that I'm living in. This is the time and space that I have chosen to be here, and I have to look at it for what it is. And when you want to die, now understand, I'm not immune to that. There was a time in my life where I tried to take my life. Okay, so I still believe that I just had enough of this life. So I do understand that when you look at your life and think it's not worth it. I also know that this is more than just the physical. The physical is just the flesh and bone. They seem to just concentrate on the flesh and bone. They forget, or maybe they don't want us to know about the spiritual side of things. They like to sort of push that all under a carpet and call us those that practice alternative energy medicine as freaks, and we're the new conspiracy theories, because basically most of the other conspiracy theories have all come true. So now energy and spirituality and soul and life after death, that's all the new conspiracies. I don't know. But I do know that energy cannot be destroyed. It is just transformed into something else. And I also know that the spiritual war that is going on right now is huge. And I'm going to quote a scripture, which is very rare for me because I find scriptures quite annoying. People quote stuff from the Bible. Well, I can quote stuff from a Superman comic, it's the same sort of level. But I have often seen symbolism in spiritual writings. Yes, of course, I've read Bibles and Torahs and Qurans. I find them they're nonsensical. They don't make sense. Nonsense. Half of it. In fact, more than half of it. But what was it? The devil's greatest triumph is to prove to the world that he didn't exist. Well, let's remove the word the devil, because that's obviously a Christian thing. And let's put in that sort of life after death is the the biggest triumph was convincing us that life after death doesn't exist. Because if you could tell yourself that those that have passed over are not far away, that they love you still, and the being that they were is still there, in all its glorious. And if you could believe that they've just left the room, they're still there. If you could believe that, if you could know that, then you know that when your time has come to leave the body, you're just going to step into that room and let go of the fear of dying, or even the pain of dying. Do you know your brain releases DMT into your system if you're having a painful death? So it almost takes you out unconsciously. There's softly ways. It doesn't have to be something you fear. It's not something you race towards either. Life is still sacred. I believe life is very special. Consciousness, perception. It's like we are the universe's windows of perception and consciousness. Consciousness to be aware of yourself. I think, therefore I am. This is amazing. This is miracles upon miracles, and we shouldn't waste it. So I'm not one that's saying, advocating suicide if you think life's hell. I think you should battle to the end, and I really believe that. You battle with everything you've got to fight to stay alive. But it hits a point where you think, okay, it's time. And you'll know that time. And yeah, I would like people to see the spiritual war that's going on, because there's something out there that is broadcasting. It's broadcasting, go kill yourself, you are worthless. Yeah, it's broadcasting that on a very low level. So it's hitting the raw basis of your consciousness. Your self-worth is under attack. You are a useless breeder, a useless eater. You have no worth except for what you can earn, for what people will pay you for, all that bollocks. And yeah, I hear that siren's call, and I can hear it. The wave out there is pushing people into suicide. You are not committing suicide, you are falling in battle. And the battle is know your own worth, because you are consciousness made manifest. I know, big words, but you are pure consciousness. You are thinking, you are feeling, you're experiencing. No one else has ever been like you, right? This is a unique fingerprint. Your ancestors fought and died so that their line continues. And you are the pinnacle of your genetic history. And you are valuable not because of what you can do and who you can, affect. None of that. Just because you open your eyes every morning and go, right, what's the new day going to bring? What new thoughts? What can I create? The creators, you are a creator of this world, and they're trying to kill you. They're trying to kill you off. You create your own reality. No. Others people don't create your reality unless you allow it. And people are allowing it so much that it's because of the fear of death. I don't know how I can affect this. And that's why all I can do is keep pointing it out. But the siren's call of kill yourself, you are worthless, is part of the battle. It's part of the battle for your freedom, for your soul, for your point of view, for your way of life, for your children's way of life. That siren's call is part of their arsenal. And you can either look it full on the face and say, fuck you, I am worth more than that. I'm not going to take my life today. Right? I'm not saying that taking your life is bad. Rational suicide, okay, my ancestors probably did the same. I'm saying that do not do it when someone else is telling you to do it, because they have an alternative motive. They want to wipe out, knock the population down to 40 million or something like that. Yes, conspiracy theories. It's all carved in stone in some place. And I've read all this, and I can see the siren call there of it's time to die. Go on, you want to. And it's like, fuck you. I don't do as I'm told, okay? It's why I'd make a really bad soldier. Because it's not, when someone says to me, jump, I'm going, why? Why should I jump? I have this inbuilt thing of, no, I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to do as I'm told. I don't know why. It is sheer stubborn and bloody-mindedness. But please don't do as you're told. Please fight the battle right now. It is not a time to suicide. It is not a rational time to suicide. It is an irrational order from some spiritual bunch who've weaved some sorcery into the world. And they want you to die. They're calling you all kinds of useless breeders and causing fear. And I'm saying no. Just say no. There may be another time in your life when you think, okay, it's a rational suicide time, but not right now, okay? You need to fight to stay alive. Open your eyes in the morning and go, yeah, I fight to stay alive again, and again, and again, and again. And you get worn down, and trust me, it is a tiring process, but we continue fighting because that's what we're here to do. We chose this, right? And when it is our time, we can let go and rest. And I look forward to that too. I'm tired, and we're all getting worn down, and we're all getting tired. But now is not a time to commit suicide, all right? Talk to someone. If you want to talk to me, I will keep putting this message out, because I think out of all the messages I could do, this is probably one that I feel strongly most about. I'm picking a side here, and I'm picking it for life and consciousness. I want to know your point of view. I want to see your creations in this world. We're your children. Your children could be your creations, your cookery, or your artwork, or your dance, or even your song, or your voice. You are creator, and you are needed. Okay, I love you lots, people. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.